welcome back to Vadim. Today we are doing a makeup tutorial because my mother-in-law asked me how I do my makeup on a regular basis. Okay, it's best to start off looking as awful as possible, that way the end looks more dramatic. Since I don't know where my moisturizer is, we are going right into BB creams. Yay! You really want to get your beauty blender moist. That is what helps it keep from eating the product. I always thought that was kind of a scam to be using a sponge to eat all your makeup, but it actually works pretty well. So I usually just squish out some product on the back of my hand like so, and then start dabbing it on and blending it in. There is a lot of blending that needs to happen, so let's just skip forward a little bit. This is the stuff that I use under my eyes. I will list all the products in order that I'm using them in the description, so you can figure that out. It's pretty cool because you just sort of turn it and the product comes out of the brush at the top. And I don't know, it seems to work pretty well, I guess. Next step, more blending. Alright, and if you're having any breakouts like I am at the moment, you will need some concealer. I like this one from Physicians Formula. It seems to work pretty well with my skin tone. So add in and blend away. Blendy, 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 blend. Next, it is time to get out the big guns and find your foundation, which is here, and your foundation brush. Swirl on some product and just go to town, smooshing it all over your face. Okay, next step is to get out your bronzer and your blush, and I only have one of those brushes, so I just use one side for bronzer and one side for blush. That's how I roll. So I just do like a number 3 on each side of my face, underneath my cheekbone and underneath my jawline. Supposedly that makes you look prettier. I don't know, I just do what the people on the YouTubes tell me to do. Oh yeah, also on your nose. Next is blush. I watched a tutorial from a much better makeup person than me who said you should do it 2 fingers widths away from your nose and straight back along your cheekbone for the best look, and I do find that I like that technique better. So right now you look like everyone drew on you. You find your blending brush and you just swirl it around on your face to blend everything together. Are you noticing a theme yet? The theme is blending. Then you realize you had your moisturizer after all, but it's too late. Anyway, brows. I use a Mary Kay brush and this palette for eyeshadows. Today I'm going to be using this middle shade, but when I first started I used that lighter shade most of the time. I find the darker one in the middle gives me more contrast with my brows because my glasses take over so much of my face. I do my brows with my glasses still on, partly because it's easier for me to see, and partly because I'm just lazy. Ta-da! Next, I have a white eye pencil, and I use this to kind of give my brows some definition and brighten and widen my eyes a little bit. So I do a little bit underneath my arches and a little bit on the inner corner of my eyes. Again, mostly just because other makeup people have told me that this is a good thing to do. So I tried it and I liked it and now I do it. Oh hey, there's the husband. Okay then, anyway. So next I just did black eyeliner on my waterline underneath. I like the look of underneath and on top, but I am really terrible at doing my top waterline, so I just didn't bother today because it's really difficult for me to do when I don't have my stand mirror with me. This is my favorite thing I ever purchased at Christmas time. It was a cheap eyeshadow palette. This is an angled eyeshadow brush. I dampen it so that it's wet, and I dip that into whatever color I want to use on my lid, and this is how I do my upper eye shadow. I don't do well with liquid liner, so I just use this technique. And since I have pretty hooded eyes as it is, I just pick whatever color I want to show on the tiny amount of eyelid that peeks out for me. Then I usually go with what's left on the brush and do the underneath my eyeliner. I find that helps the shape. It makes it not such a harsh line directly under my eye. This mascara is pretty cool because it has 2 different sized wands, one for the top and one for the bottom, and I immediately blinked and poked myself in the eye. So here is a very authentic version of how I put mascara on. I am completely awful at it, so most of the time I spend putting mascara on, I'm also spending taking it off. So here's some handy tips. A wet paper towel works pretty good, but also your moistened beauty blender from before, if you just pick a different edge, kind of works like an eraser. It'll take the makeup off as much as if you put it on. Now you can watch me very very sadly put on the rest of my mascara, which I will mess up again in just a moment here. Yep, there it goes. Basically, I just poked myself in the eyes 100 times while doing this tutorial, because why wouldn't I when I'm recording it to show to literally the entire planet? But whatever, I just went on and finished putting on the mascara, and then I decided to clean it up afterwards. But unfortunately, I did have to redo my eyeshadow because I wiped a lot of it off when I was getting the mascara off of it. So no big deal, just quickly repeat that step again, wipe the color on the eyelid portion, and that's when I realized anyway that I completely forgot to do the rest of my eyeshadow technique, so now that will follow here. So then we take one of our fluffy eyeshadow brushes. I just had that one. I don't really know the difference in all the shapes yet, and I picked a nice kind of middle of the ground neutral brownish color to go in the center of my eye. This is the part that's going to fold up in, so unless I'm looking down or my eyes are closed, you're really not going to see this very much. So I just go back and forth in this little semicircle to blend out the edges of the first color that I put down, and then I go a little bit higher so that it'll peak just at the, I don't know, hooded puffy part of my eye when it's all the way open. Then I pick a lighter color, in this case today I'm doing a white, and blend that up into where I did the eye pencil before. And that again just kind of brightens and makes my eye a little bit bigger and stands out a little bit better. That's a trick that I've been using for a bajillion years for makeup. Then I went back in that middle color again and blew most of the color off of the brush and just lightly went and swept it underneath my eye. That's a new technique I've been using. I don't know if it makes much of a difference, but I like it. And it's the placebo effect, if nothing else. I am in love with these CoverGirl liquid lipsticks lately. I tried a couple different brands, but I really like the CoverGirl. This color, I get a lot of compliments on it, so it seems to work well for me. It's kind of like putting on a lip gloss, but then when it dries, it just stays forever and ever, unless you use oil to remove it, because it's oil based, so it's pretty waterproof. I'm pretty bad at putting it on, so I usually have to wipe the edges a little bit to kind of blend them, I guess, and make it not such a harsh line around my lips. That might just be something only I notice though. This particular lipstick comes with its own gloss that you put over top of it. And that's great because that takes the sticky sensation from the liquid lipstick away. And last but not least, we gotta do something with his awful hair, so let's take it down and floof it out. I just brushed it and then just pulled it to one side and tried to see which way it felt like falling today, and it looks like that's a winner. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye!